Well, hello there. All right, guys, so for today's video, I wanted to have a conversation with you guys, and I kind of wanted to do my makeup while I'm doing that because I feel like sometimes when I'm doing something and I'm talking, I don't focus so much on what I'm saying and I just kind of say what I want to say without overthinking it. So I wanted to get ready and do my makeup today with you guys, and I want to talk about a topic that I have been wanting to talk about for so long, but just didn't know where it fit in this channel, and that is that I want to talk about God, and I want to talk about the law of attraction, and I just want to talk about spirituality in general, because for the past, I would say 3 years, I have not been that close to my spirituality, and I think it's really been affecting me as a person, because if you guys saw the video that I posted 4 or 5 years ago about a message from God, you know, I haven't been able to bring myself to rewatch that video because I don't know who that girl is anymore, and I want to connect with what she's saying, but I can't. And a lot of things have happened in my life from then to now that have kind of changed the way that I see a lot of things, or how certain situations manifest in my life. And I don't know, I just wanted to have a conversation about this topic because, like I said, more of a conversation than anything, because I feel like I need somebody's help to get me back on the right track. I have been struggling a lot with being able to find God again and my spirituality and just believing in good things. All right, so I'm not going to be going like in detail on what I'm doing with my makeup or what I'm using, because this is not gonna be a makeup tutorial. I'm just getting ready with you guys. But I will say foundation, which is the most important thing for me. Fenty Beauty is still where it's at for me. I have been using Fenty Beauty for ever since I did that video testing out Fenty Beauty. I'll link it here somewhere, I don't know. But I have not let go of this foundation. This is their Pro Filter foundation. This is my second one, I think, or third one, I don't remember, but this is my ride or die. It just works with my skin. It's flawless. But I do want to find a more lighter foundation. I haven't really been buying makeup, so if you ladies out there watching have a recommendation for a good foundation that is good for my skin, has SPF, and is also lightweight, please recommend it to me in the comment section, because although I do like this Fenty Beauty one, I do think it's like a little bit, un poquitito, like too heavy, you know, like it's just like a full coverage, and I think I want something in the middle. Okay, let's just do it. I really don't know where to start. Okay, so ignore my bangs. I had to trim them a little shorter this morning because they were literally poking my eyeballs. So they have a mind of their own right now, so we're just gonna ignore that. So yeah, a few years ago, I made that video about, okay, I guess I gotta clip away my bangs. Okay, we're not gonna do that. Hold on one second. Bang problems, am I right? I'm gonna hold it because I think if I clip it, they're just gonna get reshaped really weirdly. A few years ago, I would say right around when I started my channel, 2012, 2013, I was not really into God, spirituality, law of attraction, none of that. And I remember vividly having a dinner with my friend Wendy from Diva Makeup Queen. She and I used to be, you know, we're still friends. I just haven't seen her in so long. But we were having a dinner with her and one of my other friends, Rocio. She also has a YouTube channel, Rocio Laura. And we were just like talking about like life and stuff like that. And that was like right at the beginning of my YouTube starting point. And I remember sitting in that dinner table. We were eating Thai food, I believe, and we were just talking about, it was like the end of the year. I think it was around December or November. And I'm telling you, I remember this vividly because that was my first experience with like the law of attraction and manifesting like a really big success in my life. So anyways, we were in that dinner table and we were just talking about like YouTube, and that was like when we were like just starting, all three of us kind of. So we were very excited. We wanted to grow our channels. We were like excited about the opportunities, and we were just talking like what we wanted from YouTube and whatever. So we were talking, and I remember saying to them that one of my goals was to hit 100,000 subscribers. At that point, I had like less than 10,000. Like I was nobody. I'm still nobody. But like, yeah, like I didn't know what could have been at that point. I was just like, my goal is to reach 100,000 subscribers. I know I'm gonna reach it. I just don't know how, but it's gonna happen. I know it's gonna happen. It's gonna be. And you know how in the law of attraction, they always say, put a thought out into the universe and just let it go. You know, like don't over obsess over it. Just say it, tell it to the universe, you know, I don't know, text it to the universe, I don't know. And just let it go. Don't ever think about it again. Or if you do, just like lightly think about it, but don't obsess over it. Just let it go and let the universe get to work to bring that into your life. At that point in time, I didn't know the law of attraction or the universe or whatever worked that way. In that dinner, my friend Wendy and Rocio, they recommended to me this book, which is still my holy grail book that has changed my life, and it's the Success Principles by Jack Canfield. I try to reread that book like once every other year. I find that it still gives me a lot of value every time I reread that book. So they said, read this book, blah, 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 blah. I was like, okay, cool. So I bought the book and I started reading it. I'm not kidding you, and this is obviously not sponsored or endorsed by that book, but that book changed my life. That book taught me so much about like the law of attraction, about how you manifest things into your life and how to bring success into your life by your thoughts, your actions, and how you can work with the universe to just like, you know, shape your life, mold your life to where you want it to be, right? And at that point in that dinner time, I did not know anything about law of attraction. Like I was kind of a believer of like karma, good energy, think positive thoughts kind of thing, but not really, like I knew shit about the law of attraction. Fast forward, let's about 7 months later, my YouTube channel hit 100,000 subscribers. My YouTube channel exploded. It was growing. My videos were growing. My videos were getting views. I was making thousands of dollars every month. And I was like, oh my God, like what's happening? And I didn't know what was happening, but in the process, I was just kind of observing all these things happen to me. All these amazing things happened to me. And then at the end, when I hit 100,000 subscribers, not at the end, but when I reached that milestone, I sat back down and I thought to myself, I was like, holy shit, I manifested this. Hey, editing YANYI here. Just wanted to clarify that although yes, I did manifest 100,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel, that did not come without me actually putting in tons of work into it. Long hours. I was also working full-time at the time, so it was a lot of hard work and dedication, sacrifice, weekends of just work, and you know, I don't want you to think that I just said, oh, I'm gonna get 100,000 subscribers and then a few months later it showed up. You know, in between then and there, from that dinner conversation to when I hit 100,000 subscribers, I started going back to church again, just for my own sake. I wanted to connect with something more than the mundane, you know, like I wanted to connect with my higher spirit guides or God, whatever it is. I started going back to church. I went to church religiously every Sunday to Hillsong for, I would say, like almost a year. So yeah, a few months after I hit 100,000 subscribers, you know, I kept working on my channel. I kept doing my thing. And that's when like a lot of my, hey, I want to quit my corporate job to do YouTube full time started happening. And I'm not even doing my makeup, oh my God. Then at that point I was like, oh, you know what? Like I really love YouTube. I really want to do this full time. Like I don't know if I really want to quit my job. Like I had a really good job at that time. I was making a lot of money, and you know, I felt like I was being successful, right? And like what I thought was success and what I wanted in life and stuff like that. And so there I was in this weird middle ground in my life where I wanted to do something that was completely out of what I knew was success, or like what I knew was to be I guess, the normal thing to do. I don't know. But I really found a lot of pleasure and joy in YouTube. And this was like before YouTube was even considered, this was just at the brink when people were like, oh, I want to be a YouTuber full time kind of thing, when people were like really seeing the potential in YouTube. So I was like, you know what, I really want to do this. I really want to give my all to it. But you know, I don't know what to do. God, give me a sign. And I remember like for the couple of months or the year that I was really, really, really deeply connected with like the universe and God and in prayer and manifesting things in my life, I kept this journal. I think it's like I have like 2 journals that I kept with every single thing that I manifested. And it shocks me. Oh my God, I'm getting literally goosebumps as I'm saying this. It shocks me because I haven't opened those notebooks, those journals in years. I would say like in 2 to 3 years. But I vividly remember that almost every single time I wanted to manifest something, it would just happen. And every time I would ask the universe for a sign, the sign would show up, or like a validation, or like anything. Like it was just kind of like I had this amazing connection with the universe and with God. Oh man, it felt so good. And I kept fearing that I would lose it. And it's weird because I almost foreshadowed my own destiny. That sounds so dramatic, oh my God. But it's like so true. Like I was so afraid. What am I doing? I literally don't know what I'm doing right now. Little did I know I was kind of like foreshadowing myself. A few months after, you know, all these really cool synchronicities and manifestations started happening in my life. Like I remember one time that right before I was about to quit my job, I was on the train. And that was like the day before I was about to quit my job. And I remember being on the train like, God, what do I do? Universe, help me make a decision, show me a sign. I don't know what to do. I really want to pursue this path, but I don't know what to do. So I was on the train, I was going to work. And then as I was getting off the train, somebody just handed me a newspaper, like out of nowhere. Like they were just like, hey, here. I think they were giving out newspapers, but it was just weird because like normally when, this is such a New Yorker thing to do. Like when you're walking to work, like you are tunnel vision. You don't want to look at nobody. People know better than to bother somebody who has a mission to go to, like a place to go to. So I'm just walking like literally like this, like blinders on, not talking to nobody. I'm like, bye-bye, don't, but this person just like gave me this newspaper. And I was like, oh, okay, thanks. Like, I'm not just gonna be like, no, take it back. So I took it and I'm walking and something, I don't remember what it was, but something caught my eye. There was a sign that caught my eye. And that sign kind of subconsciously told me to read the newspaper. And I need to find my journal. It's in the basement somewhere. I packed it away. I put it in a box and, you know, maybe I should do a video one day of just like reading all of my journal entries. I think that would be so interesting for me, mostly because I want to like relive those moments, because I do think those were some really, really good and cool moments of my life. Anyway, so I read the newspaper and I don't remember exactly what it said, but something along the lines of like, you know, like take a chance, take a risk, do it. And it was like the front cover. And I was like, holy shit, like what? And so that day I was like, okay, thank you. I was like, thank you, universe. I acknowledged it and I said, God, like, okay, I hear you. I just need one more sign. Validate this for me, please. I think I know what you're trying to tell me, but I don't know if this is like the, you know, what it is. So I said that and I just, you know, let it go. And then I went to work. And then when I got to work, I was in the kitchen and that day we had like a town hall. So, you know, it was like a lot of commotion going on. They were setting up and, you know, whatever. And I remember making coffee and something calling me like from the side of my peripheral vision, like something was just like calling me. And I don't want to sound all like woo-woo and like crazy, but like this is a true story, and I'm literally not fucking with you. I'm not making this up. This is like literally a story from the vaults of YANYI's nuggets of wisdom. Like I dug this so deep in my archives that, what was I saying? Oh yeah, so I was in the kitchen. You see, I swear to God, my brain is like super ADD these days, and I'm not trying to offend anybody who has ADD. I really feel like my attention span has been that of a freaking turtle. I don't even know if turtles have good attention spans or not, but you get what I'm saying. In my peripheral vision, I saw something that was like catching my attention. It wasn't like an object or anything. It was just like something was telling me like, look over here. And so I look, and in the kitchen, we used to have like these cabinets that were painted with chalkboard paint, so you're able to like write messages on it or whatever. So in the cabinet, what it said was something like, oh, you know, like, be you, blah, 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 blah. That wasn't what caught my attention. Right underneath the little quote that was on the cabinet, there was a faint sequence of numbers. Now I'm really sounding crazy, but to me, I feel like God and the universe talks to me in numbers, or usually in numbers. And my number is always validated by the date of my birthday, which is the 23rd. That number validates a lot for me. And every time I see that number, I always stop and think to myself, okay, what was I thinking about? What was I trying to ask an answer for? And what is this validating for me? I look up and it was not the number 23, but I found it odd that that particular sequence of numbers was there. And so I was like, you know what, whatever. I took a picture of it, and then I Googled the meaning of those numbers. Okay, so when I Googled the meaning of those numbers, I was shocked. I don't know if it's true, but you know, like, just coincidentally, it was basically telling me like that sequence of numbers was saying like the universe is with you and they're supporting you in that one decision that you want to make, that you're asking for an answer for, something along those lines. And I was like, the fuck? And okay, fine. Thank you, universe. Thank you for this crazy bold sign in my face. And so then I went along my day. I journaled all of this, and I was like, okay, wow, like now it's up to me. Like now I need to make the decision. Like, do I want to move forward with doing this? So in that thought, I was like contemplating all day. Like it was for me, quitting my job at that point was such a big deal because I was just recently out of college, like maybe 2 to 3 years out of college. I had an amazing job, a great title, and I felt like I was making it. So for me to have quit my job at that point felt like I was like cutting off my supply. That day, like I said, there was a town hall, and for some reason, nobody knew this, but Oprah showed up at my job. I'm not making this up. I work for Weight Watchers, so she bought part of the company, so she's part of the company, yada yada yada. Anyways, so she showed up at the town hall that day, and I remember like, oh my god, vividly. And I was standing to her left, and I could kind of like see her. I was pretty close to the little stage where she was speaking, and I need to find a recording on my phone. I don't know if I still have it, but I don't know if I still have it. Fangirled over the fact that Oprah was right in front of me. Second, the speech she gave that day was just everything I needed to hear and more.
There is really no difference between what we're all after. I want the same thing you want. Even at this point in my life, I want the same thing you want. I want to be able to live the fullest, highest, truest expression of myself. The truest, highest, fullest expression of myself as a human being on the planet Earth in the year 2016. Isn't that what you want? want to be able to, like, literally live at the highest frequency, on the highest vibration in your relationships, in your personal emotional space, in your spiritual space. You want to be able to live the fullest expression of yourself as a human being.
Basically, like, YANYI, take the risk, do you, live your life, was the message that I received. So that day, I'm not saying that, all these signs from the universe was the reason why I quit my job. Obviously, there were so many more factors that took part of it, but I kind of did it with the universe with me and God. The next day, that day when I got home, I was like, all right, fuck it, I'm doing this. Like, in my heart, I felt like it was the right thing to do. And if it's not now, when? So I said, fuck it, I'm gonna do it. So I did it. And the next day I went in and I quit my job and I gave them my notice, blah, 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 blah. And so that's when I filmed that video. I quit my job for YouTube. And during this whole time, I feel like I did have a really good connection to God. And I feel like I really had a good connection with the universe. And I feel like the universe was helping me. The universe was with me. For a couple of months after I quit my job, I tried to do the whole YouTube thing full time. And it was just not going well. And I think you guys already know the story. But for those of you guys who haven't been following my crappy YouTube journey, basically, I started not growing. I didn't get the views. I was getting demonetized. YouTube was deleting my views and blah, blah, a whole bunch of stuff. I was just not doing well with my YouTube career. See, I keep forgetting to do my makeup. Who cares about the makeup anymore, right? During that 1 year that I was doing YouTube full time, I literally went balls out. And I traveled to Europe for a whole month. That's where you guys saw a lot of my travel vlogs in Europe. And I have a hair in my eyeball, I feel like. And that is when I also started speaking at a lot of panels. I spoke at a panel with Google and YouTube, and so many amazing opportunities came my way that year. But eventually things started dying down, and I definitely know that part of it was my fault because I didn't manage the growth correctly. Like, there was so many things that I could have done differently, like hire a really good YouTube manager or a PR person to help me kind of grow more, or even hire somebody to help me elevate my content, like a content writer or something like that. So in retrospect, there was so many things that I could have done differently to elongate my career, or make sure that my career was set up to succeed. So anyways, you guys know the story. I kind of failed at doing YouTube full time. Nobody else to blame but myself, to be honest. As much as I want to blame the algorithm and blah, 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 I feel like everything is a result of your own actions. And I really do feel that, maybe I wasn't giving value in my channel, and maybe people were not interested enough to watch my videos anymore. And that's okay, if I'm not your cup of tea, then I can't do much about that. But when I started seeing the decline of my channel, I started to really inject a lot of negativity into my thoughts that then really resulted in me subconsciously always creating this negative aura around me, or just this completely, how do I say, this world of this world of non-manifestation, crap, why can't I say it? Manifestation. What is going on, brain? Anyways, so I felt like I was going in this really ravaged, deep, dark, negative cycle in my life. I really feel like there was a few months where I was very, very, very depressed. Obviously, I didn't have a job. My source of income was YouTube. I wasn't making that much money. Thankfully, I was living at home with my mom. I was paying her very little rent. So That wasn't the problem. But, and also I had savings, you know, I prepared for that moment to quit because I knew that, you know, when you do things like, when you're like in the world of art and stuff like that, or your own boss, you know, you never know when you're gonna get the next sponsorship, if a video is gonna do well. So there's a lot of things that you can't control. So I kind of was very stressed. I was very depressed, and I couldn't see my light at the end of the tunnel. I felt like a failure, and that feeling of failure stuck with me for a very long time. And I think it's even up until recently, I think it's been 3 years since that whole thing happened. And even now, I am just cracking that shell of negativity. I am still very doubtful of myself. I still do not believe in myself. I still think that I have nothing to offer. Like, I started putting my worth on how my YouTube channel was doing and how my social media growth was going. And I really started like making myself feel like nothing. And that has stuck with me for a while. And I think it's still with me. I think everybody has a little piece of that, regardless of, you know, where you are in your life. Like, we all have a little bit of that self-doubt. It's just how we manage it and how we decide to change our actions to, you know, change the outcome. And I'm not gonna lie, like, I was really not pushing myself to do better. I wasn't pushing myself to do something different. I was just like stuck in this place where I just felt unworthy of anything. And so I stopped journaling, I stopped praying, I stopped talking to God, because I felt like nobody was listening. Nobody was giving me, you know, that support that I had before, you know, meaning they, like the law of attraction, the universe. I couldn't manifest anything good into my life anymore. I felt like everything that was coming into my life was not good. I was single at the time, and I had some toxic dating experiences, toxic relationships, really bad toxic relationships. And I went into like a bad drinking habit. I was just like in this really weird place. I just didn't feel anchored. I think that's the right way to explain it. I didn't feel anchored. I felt like I had no internal compass directing me. I was lost. I literally felt lost. And we're here now, many years later, and I have realized that everything that has happened in my life, one, has happened for a reason. All the bad things and the good things have happened for a reason, because without the bad, we're not gonna appreciate the good. So knowing those feelings of lack help us appreciate the feelings and the moments of abundance. In the past couple of years, I have been trying to just help myself be a little bit more open and remind myself to pray more and journal and, you know, be more positive, support myself better, and give myself more positive intentions in the things that I do, because I still feel like not good enough. I mean, I think I'm always gonna feel that way, but I'm really working on not feeling and telling myself that I'm a piece of shit and I'm ugly and that I don't have talent and that like I have no purpose in this life. I think the reason I've been feeling so crappy lately is because I really don't know what my purpose in life is. And that's gonna sound like so extreme, but having a purpose really just changes your will and your desire and why you wake up every morning. And recently I just haven't been feeling like I have that. And so it's been hard for me to, I don't know, just wake up with a goal, you know, or something that I want to attain. Long story short, now I'm at this weird place where I want to reconnect with God and the universe, but I don't know how to do it. I have tried to like reread the success principles and all that, and I just haven't found that that has helped me at all. And I guess I'm doing this video because like I need someone to, I don't know, tell me what their experience has been, or like how they reconnected with God and the universe, because I really feel very disconnected. And every time I want to be a little bit more open and connect with the universe again and be connected to my spirituality, I feel like something bad happens, and then I'm like, fuck it, like what the fuck am I doing? Why does always this happen to me? And my mental health has been in this weird place where I don't have many friends, and I also don't have many people that I talk to much about how I feel. Weirdly enough, YouTube is like my diary and my best friend. Like when I make these videos, I feel like somebody is listening. I mean, but it forces me to talk about things that I don't talk to anybody about. And yeah, I don't have a best friend that I go to. I don't have a mentor in my life. I don't have like somebody, a figure that I look up to, and I think that's a problem. I've gone 30 years of my life without that, and you know, although my parents have been great, I don't necessarily say that they are my mentors. I mean, they are two human beings that I look up to a lot, and their work ethic and all of the morals they instilled in me, but they're not like the person that I go to when I have problems or I need advice, because most of the time I get judged and I get yelled at by my mom. Asian mom problems, I know. And so my mental health over the years, I think for a good chunk of my life, I think maybe when I was from maybe 12 to like 25, 26, I just buried all of my fucking emotions. Like I just ignored it. I just completely buried everything. I sought no help. I never really expressed how I felt, and I just tried to deal with everything on my own. And I think when I was in my late 20s, I think that's really when I realized that, you know what, I need help. And I've been really considering to go to therapy. I feel like even saying the word therapy is like, ugh. I grew up in a very Asian household. Like my mom is Asian, and if anybody out there is Asian, you know that feelings and emotions and mental health is not a thing in the Asian community, but it should be a thing, because, and I think as our generations get older, that's gonna change. But in the generation that I am in, my mom didn't have that with her mom or her parents, so that kind of bled onto me and my sisters and stuff. And I'm really grateful that I have my sisters, because we kind of open up to each other in a way. But I still don't really express everything to them, because, you know, big sister, gotta be the strong one here. I, over the years, have come to acknowledge the fact that I need help. I need professional help, and I need to be able to find better coping mechanisms than alcohol and depression, because I feel like when I get into these modes, the first thing I do is I go for like a glass of wine and I just shut down. I completely shut down. I don't want to talk to anybody. I don't want to create. I don't want to no, not doing that. So when I get into these moments in my life that I don't feel 100% worthy, I mentally go into a really dark place. God. I swear to God, I was not planning on getting fucking emotional in this fucking video. I wanted it to be just a chit chat, like what the fuck. Go into these dark places in my mind, and I start thinking about how much of like a piece of shit I am, and all the things that I have done that have not you know, I just kick myself over and over and over again in the ground. Like I throw myself on the ground and I kick myself. And I have been doing that a lot for the past couple of years, and it also becomes this cycle of drinking where, and I don't think I'm an alcoholic. I really don't think I am, but my dad used to be an alcoholic when I was younger, so I need to watch myself, you know, right, to not trigger something in me. But I know that what I'm doing to myself is not healthy, but I do go into these really weird states of mind where I will try to just sleep it off. I won't do anything. And it'll go on for like days, until I just fucking snap out of it, you know? So just know that if you ever feel that way, it's very normal. It's very valid, your feelings and your thoughts. I know that I come on here and I talk about like life and try to be all cheery and stuff, but that's not the reality 100% of the time, you know? Like, yeah, I like to have fun and I like to like be stupid and like make people laugh, but at the end of the day, I'm still human. I'm imperfect. I have so many flaws. Okay, I just finished my makeup off camera. I just looked at the timer, and this video is 40 minutes long. I don't know how much I'm gonna edit down. I feel like I want to just minimally edit this. This is something that I've been wanting to talk about for such a long time, and I mostly want to talk about this because I want to put it out there that what you think and what you think of yourself and what you project onto this world really does affect what comes back to you. Whether you believe in God or the universe or the law of attraction or not, it is very, very valid and very true. It's like the way you think and the things that you say about yourself, to yourself, or, you know, in your sleep, it really shifts your reality because you start attracting those things and you start acting on those things. And that's what I have been doing to myself. I have been self-sabotaging myself for the past couple of years by being negative to myself and negative about everything that I do, negative about just not seeing where my potential lies. And I have been creating the story in my head of how unworthy I am and how little talent I have just because this one thing in my life didn't succeed. I would love to know about your experience or any advice or tips that you might have for me. I feel like I'm really lucky to have this community because although I don't get millions and millions of views, the views that I do get on my videos, they're very thoughtful views. And those of you guys who leave me comments, they're just like really good and nice, genuine comments. And I am so lucky to have that. So I want to thank you guys for that. Oh my God, boogers. I don't know, I kind of really enjoy these chatty videos. So if you guys also do, please make sure to give this video a thumbs up and let me know in the comment section. Don't forget that I'm doing Vlogmas. So there's a video up there is a video going up every single day of December. And I do also have a Spanish channel, so go ahead and check out my Spanish channel if you would like to. I don't even know what the purpose of this video was. You see what I'm doing here? Like, I'm doubting myself now. I'm like, I just sat here for an hour filming this video, and did it even make a point? Was it even valid? Like, what the fuck was I trying to accomplish? I'm doing that thing again. Okay, I'm just gonna put it out there, and I'll see you guys in my next video.